Welcome to the After the Show movie podcast, brought to you by your hosts, Ace Scully and Sid Talk. We're addicted to movies. Are you? Hello, welcome. Hello, Sid Talk.
Oh, we started.
Are you here?
I'm here.
Yes.
That's not the before. The after the show. The discussion. It was this movie. This franchise of movie.
Movie franchise.
And my failed bread.
Oh, yeah. Why did your bread fail?
I did not allow it enough time to rise, so it didn't get enough air in it. So now it's currently in the oven, which I might need to hop up and go real quick and take the new croutons out of the oven.
I mean, I would rather you take them out than burn us down.
Yeah. I need to give them about a half an hour.
All right. Well.
That's the before the after the show discussion. Riveting, I know.
Riveting.
Yeah.
All right, it's Saturday, August the 2nd. Happy August.
Before the after the show discussion, 2 days ago, what did we do in preparation for today?
Watched the rest of these movies.
Yes, we watched 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later.
Yes. So on Saturday, August the 2nd, this is After the Show, your weekly movie review podcast, and this week's episode 902, we're looking at the movie 28 Years Later. So 2025 release, out now on streaming, rated R. It's 1 hour and 55 minutes from Sony Pictures. They sent us a copy for review. Sid Talk, can you give us the synopsis of 28 Years Later?
I don't think I should have to.
I'll give you the one off the box.
Sure.
A group of survivors of the rage virus live on a small island. When one of the group leaves the island on a mission into the mainland, he discovers secrets, wonders, and horrors that have mutated not only the infected, but also the other survivors. I don't really like that.
I don't either. It seems a bit showy-offy.
I guess you got to get people in the door, you know?
I guess.
We hadn't seen 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later for so long, we had forgot what they were. It was like watching new movies.
Yeah, the first one I definitely remembered, but the second one, I'm telling you, I did not remember most of it. It's so weird.
And let me give you my experience of the second one. It was almost like I watched the opening sequence and then turned it off.
Back in the day, you mean?
Yeah, because I remember the opening sequence and then I remember nothing else.
Is that weird? Me too.
And I think that might be because, well, we're not here to review that movie, but
no.
I don't think that movie was that good, let's say.
That's a whole other topic.
All right, so let's get on. Also, 28 Years Later, I'm not so sure it's aged so well, but I still enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Because I do enjoy horror. So, 28 Years Later, Sito, what did you think?
Well, I like this world. You know, the idea of the rage virus. So if we want to give a little bit of context here, if you've never seen any of the 28 whatever movies.
The 28 series.
The beginning of the very first one starts with primates in a lab with vivisection and all that being tormented. And they've been given a virus they've called the rage virus. They let one loose, it bites a lady, and thus the virus begins. And the rage is that within 20 seconds, it gets in your blood, and you are now not a zombie. Even though in this movie, finally somebody said it.
You're an infected.
You're an infected, and you're just on high rage, like running, killing, like, but you're got a weird jerkiness about you.
Savage.
I'm not really sure how we come to that conclusion with every zombie thing, but you're a savage, yes. So that began it. It spreads very quickly in this universe that has been written by Mr. Boyle and Alexander. Is that his name? Alex
Garland.
Literally within like 28 days, right? All of London and England is basically destroyed.
Yes.
So that's the beginning. So now we're 28 years later. And I think that my brain wants more story about the world of the rage virus, not just that now we've quarantined England because it's contained, they think. And so people have been left to be primitive again. So there are survivors, and 28 years later, we have villages and cities and weirdos, and like every other movie that a story everyone's ever written about post-apocalyptic kind of shit, there's a group of wackos over here and a group of weirdos over there and a group of savages over there and a group of wannabe dictators over there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always, even in Walking Dead, you know, we had the guy who wanted to be king and they rode horses and talked like gallant or whatever, all that shit. So it's the same as that. So we're meeting all of these weirdo people. The catalyst for this particular movie is a child's mother isn't well. He's been told his whole life of 12 years that there are no doctors in the world or in where they live. He finds out there's a doctor out in the mainland of England, London, not London, but
they're in the middle. So I can't tell really.
We're going on a road trip, essentially, walking to there with all the dangers. Yet again, a child, this is what happens in 28 weeks later, 2 children sneak out of the secure area. And in this one, a child sneaks out of the secure area, this time with his mother, to find there are things about the mainland and whatnot that he didn't know before. So the description is semi-accurate, but I don't know. My opinion is I enjoy the world. I don't enjoy this particular... I don't know. It's almost like this is all happening in a world where the rage virus has decimated the whole entire country of England, right?
Yeah.
So the world knows this. The world has carried on. There's cell phones out in the world. There's regular world going on.
The world's just normal apart from England.
And then these stories that we get, this story, it's like, oh, that's happening over there. Like, I guess I'm not as interested in the little tiny bit of a story versus the big of the story. And so that where I kind of had to get my brain around, oh, we're not going to get any furthering of anything to do with the virus itself. It's just this one little person's
we
quest.
do get a lot of information about how the virus has changed, and we see different forms of infected.
I don't think we've seen how the virus has changed, but that humans who have had it for a long time become, I don't know, what do you call them? Natural beasts roaming the hillside.
Because they're people infected with a virus and they have to stay alive as well. So they probably got the instinct to stay alive. Well, we know they have.
Yeah.
And they eat animals and they eat worms and they stay alive. Some of them.
They reproduce.
So we learned a lot about, how the people just are being people. But
we learned one thing.
Savage people.
That they have minds because they follow a leader.
Yep.
Like Bubba from Day of the Dead, that world, that universe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that we learned a lot, except that humans can survive with the virus in the wild.
We learned that an infected mother can have a baby and the baby's not infected.
Right. And the answer to that was the good doctor guy saying, oh, the magic of the placenta.
Yeah.
That's the whole explanation. Mm-hmm. Chances are, if we have another movie that's 28 years later from this movie, that young baby is going to be grown up and has some weird powers, right? Of resistance or something to this virus.
Yeah. Or they're infected and they go apeshit at some point and just turn into one of the infected.
That would be a dumber story, but they could go that way.
So I have to say that 28 years later, this one we watched today is my favorite of the 3 movies.
Oh, okay. I
just thought it was better. It was just better done than the others. The second one is just stupid. I didn't like it at all. The Begbie one.
Right.
It's just over the top. Let's be bigger than the first movie, but just not for any reason, really. It's really dumb. It also has a lot of dumb stuff, that second movie. As in, why try and move the people back into the infected area 28 weeks after it happened?
I know. It's really...
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're all going back now. It's not quite cleaned up, but we'll all have fun. Yeah, no.
Also, there's no British government. There's nothing going on there. So
the Americans are looking after...
Yeah, who's decided this? You know what I mean? Like, who made up this weird... Everything's fine. It's all fine.
So I didn't like that one. In fact, after it had finished, I was like, yeah, I can understand why I don't remember it. Because it's generic and it's not very good. The first one has got a bit of, I say, it's like punk rocky. It's got this kind of grimy, lo-fi thing about it that makes it, I don't know, it's not a great movie.
It really isn't. On reflection,
But it was fun to watch.
I've become neutral on the whole thing. I like the world because I like zombie stuff. Therefore, I'm in it to find out what the imagination about this is. But I feel like these guys are less about the world that's been destroyed by a virus thing, and more about these interpersonal relationships, kind of like how Walking Dead became a soap opera with zombies, right? And I don't give a shit really on the lower level of people's little dramas and shit. I understand this story is particularly interesting because this place where they were on the island, they were in Scotland, right? So
it's a causeway, so
right,
you can't get in or out.
The only way they could get to their island. So on that island, they have no way to cure cancer anymore. It's 28 years later. Governments of the world are not sending them chemotherapy and shit. They're just on their own. So this woman having cancer and dying from it.
Spoilers.
I find that's an interesting. Well, you're dying of cancer, aren't you? If you don't ever treat it. So that's an interesting element of a world where a virus has destroyed at least some of society, right? That I'm interested in, but not just like, I don't know. And it's fragmented to me. Like you got the guy with the skulls, you got the alpha creature guy.
I mean, yeah, the movie it feels like maybe 3 different movies. That was one of the issues I had with it.
Yeah.
It has like a disjointed nature to it. It starts off as one thing. It starts off as like a Last of Us type thing where a boy goes on like a mission with his dad. It's like a parental thing, and then they go on a mission. It's like he's never been out there before.
He's learning to be a man.
Yeah, that thing. So you've got that whole section, and then that section ends, and then it becomes a boy and his mother, and the boy taking his mother to the doctor, basically. And then the last part of the movie is something else. Well, there's also some infected encounters.
Yeah, I feel like the last part, literally, it's like 1 minute and a half, so it's no big deal to me.
The last part is basically just setting up the next
Yeah,
part.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not really part of the story other than they rescue him, but
it does feel disjointed in a way, but
Absolutely.
I did enjoy all 3 parts. I almost saw it like 3 different things going on, but I did enjoy all of them. And I really enjoyed seeing the alpha infected, and the most creepy ones for me are the fat wormy ones.
Mm-hmm.
They just slither along the floor like a snail or a slug.
How do they be fat? That's my question. There was a whole family of them.
I think they just constantly eating whatever they come across, right?
I guess, but that's rude.
Yeah. They're gross, and they don't make a noise. They're so quiet. They just slither. And those were terrifying to me because I'm like, okay, you can set up traps and you can have a sleep. But with those things, I don't think you can hear them coming. They're just going to slither up on you.
You're putting yourself in the world, I take it.
And they freak me out, a lot. And then there's the big ones, and they're still very fast, the regular infected people. You're not getting away from them really, are you, unless you're a good runner. So it's all terrifying. I like the way it's designed. This movie looks better than the other 2 movies.
Sure.
And Danny Boyle did this one on an iPhone. He didn't just get the iPhone out of his pocket, don't get me wrong.
He could have.
He had a lot of iPhones. I mean, they had a whole rig
but
of
I'm saying
iPhones.
it's the same one that is in his pocket.
It is the same one, yeah. But I didn't have a problem where I was like, this kind of looks shit. Because it didn't. It looked good. And it was very fun action sequences. There was some terrible dialogue. I mostly found it came from Aaron Taylor Johnson. He was exposition man. You know when they're walking across the causeway for the first time, and he's like, tell me about the causeway. And the kid's like, yeah, the causeway does this, that, and the other. Did you not think that was terrible?
No, I didn't think that was terrible.
It felt awkward to me.
It didn't feel awkward to me because they are on a mission for this dad to teach this son how to live in this world. And so I had no problem with him. It's kind of like school. Like, okay, what have we taught you about the causeway? So that didn't bother me. There
was also something else that he said at some point where I was like, oh, that's
he was kind of
a weird line.
He wasn't like he took the kid out to teach him to get his first kill. Like he hasn't been out yet. So, and he's 12. But while they're out, he's not particularly skillful. I mean, he can shoot with the arrows, but he's not like what you think, oh, this guy's been in this world now 28 years. He's not like MacGyver of the world. You know what I mean?
I think that was on purpose to make it so he's...
And then he's kind of weaselly because mom isn't well and he's off, see you next Tuesday with another lady. And so he's kind of like, ew, I don't like this dad.
I mean,
and
and you're not supposed to at that point, I think, are you?
I don't know. I mean, that's why I was confused. Like,
because that guy, Spike, even pulls a knife on his dad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why are we making this dad unlikable?
Not everything's perfect. You know?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Not even in this kind of world.
Not even in this kind of world. This horrible, wretched world.
In the trailer as well, they had that Boots poem by Rudyard Kipling.
Yeah.
The boots, boots, boots. And they did it in the movie too, but I don't think it was as effective in the movie as it was in the trailer. In the trailer, it sent shivers up my spine.
Yeah.
In this, it felt like they just inserted it because people liked it in the trailer, maybe.
Yeah, and if we're moving on to stylistic choices...
Oh, it's a smorgasbord.
The beginning of the movie has a whole bunch of like clips from other movies and things of showing like bows, like what looks like medieval movies, you know, where people have bows and arrows and they're fighting off dragons and shit like that. There's a whole bunch of that, like clipped in, like we're saying this is what happens to mankind when we don't have other choices. And then it just ends.
Yeah.
There's no more of this clipping, and there's no more of the poem, and there's no more of the like reminder of pop culture references of people. Yeah. Also, there are no horses on this island.
No.
Where they live, did you notice?
I noticed the stylistic change at the beginning there. It had this very upfront, like almost political feeling thing going on. And it made you think, oh, Danny's got something to say here. With it. Like he's even showing you this. It's a Laurence Olivier movie. Henry V, I think it is.
The one with the bow and arrows. I didn't know what it was, but yeah.
But he's showing you that and showing you how England's being defended and like bow and arrows and going back to the old times. And I'm like, he's saying something here because this Boots poem is like over the top of it and it's driving and thumping and then, nothing. It doesn't ever do it again.
Totally disappears.
Yeah. So I don't know why. Or maybe he didn't want to just keep doing it. Or there's also like, he developed a bullet time rig with iPhones, and you'll see it a few times where when somebody gets shot with an arrow, it kind of moves to the side and then moves to the side. I found that effective, and I found he didn't overuse it, which I was glad about. There's also the red, where it goes red what was that?
I don't know. It was too random. His dream was red, and then we see flash forward to understand. Okay, so it's somewhere in the beginning, before we know that there are wildlings, essentially, right? Wild people with infected out in the woods surviving, but like as crazy zombies, right? Before we know that, we just get little like 2-second flashes in front of our face of a night camera.
Yeah.
But red with their eyes glowing. And then we come back with no context, no explanation. And then later, it's when we find out that they exist. So that was a bit weird.
Yeah, I think Danny I've watched lots of Danny Boyle films and he does like style.
Over substance.
And there's a lot of style, but then it's almost like an experiment. Oh, I'll try that one. So that looked all right. And then then it doesn't thematically work. Like the Boots poem, it could have come back at some point to kind of shake you up in some way, because it's haunting like the poem. But it did not. And I was expecting it to come back at some point. You know what else was not used? The theme from 28 Days Later, which is in both of the other films. The cool music that wells up.
Was it not? I thought I heard it
was
once.
not in this movie. There was other music, but not that. So did they lose the rights to that? Or what was the deal with that? Because it is in both of the other movies, very like key moments.
And in fact, you said that was one of your favorite things about the movies.
The beginning of 28 Weeks Later, which I didn't really like, but the beginning of it when Begbie is running away and that music is funneling up and the zombies are running and it's like this crane shot. That's the best part of that whole movie. But I liked this movie. I can see it's full of flaws. It's almost experimental in points. I enjoyed it. I really liked the characters, and I liked learning a bit about. I like the doctor. I like the bony place. I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, I like the doctor idea because we're framing him like he's the crazy one.
But he's really not.
But in fact, he's got this thing about honoring that
He's the good
everyone
person.
dies. And so he's because in the real world, there are places where there are thousands of skulls that someone in our history of humanity cleaned the skulls off of thousands and thousands of human dead bodies and put them in catacombs and in other structures that exists in the real world. And so we've got a guy doing that in this world.
Dad told the story about the doctor earlier on, and he said, we looked over this hillside and then we saw a man and we saw hundreds of bodies laid out on the floor and he was burning them systematically. And then he was like to his son, don't go near that guy.
He said he's crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, no, he's probably burning the infected so he doesn't get infected or other people don't.
He's a doctor. Why don't you trust his judgment?
So I immediately was like, surely the doctor's good.
Yeah,
and turns out the doctor had a spirit to him. He just wanted people to be respected and remembered,
Absolutely.
So I did love that whole story of that. I thought that was really good. But yeah, this feels like a lot of little vignettes thrown into a movie.
It's like episodes of The Walking Dead. When you meet one person over here, when you find out that What's-His-Face has actually been building his own little shrine of the dead. What was his name? Morgan. Remember when we come back and he's got this big weird thing going on?
Yeah.
Like Monster of the Week kind of thing. Survivor of the Week.
Yeah, but that's what this is like.
Absolutely.
You are following Spike. So it is his story. There are action moments. There are also moments where you kind of scratch your head a little bit and you're like,
For example?
The bit that was, I know it was to make us meet the soldier guy, the guy who carried the mother for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But that, like, going into that, like, building and the gas being in there, and that was almost like something that they would have done in The Walking Dead and took a whole episode to do it,
Yeah, and that guy too, like, what was his actual purpose? He was also Mr. Exposition
Man.
He
was to tell us that the real world...
he's a member of the Swedish Navy, and he's on patrol around England, one of the patrols, to keep it quarantined. The ship went down, they came ashore, they're all dead except for him, so...
And he realizes he's never going home.
Right, because he says, everybody knows once you step foot on this island, you don't get to leave.
Right.
And then he's a dick. He acts like a jerk. And I love the mother saying, you're a dick. And he's like, oh, and the kid apologized for her. And she's like, no, I know a dick when I see one.
But he's also actually awesome when he saves them. Let's say.
But he's only awesome because he has a machine gun.
Yeah.
He's a jerk. So farewell.
I liked it. And the ending. Let's talk about the ending.
Okay.
So there's a section right at the very end, very quick. What happens?
Right, the very, very ending is...
the controversial part.
It is controversial, and I will say right now, a lot of Americans won't know what the hell's going on. So we're going to establish that. These are spoiler alerts, of course, here. Our young man is in dire straits. He's decided to stay on the mainland, but he's being chased by a bunch of infected. And then a guy shows up with a very blonde wig, wearing lots of gold rings and a gold chain around his neck. And he's wearing what looks like a 1990s little outfit.
Tracksuit.
A tracksuit, like a sweatsuit kind
Shell
of.
suit, I believe they called.
I don't even know. To me, it was never a thing, but it was in England.
It was totally a thing.
His name, we know from the beginning of the movie, he was a kid 28 years ago. His name's Jimmy.
Uh-huh.
We've seen throughout the movie references of Jimmy as some sort of religion.
Yep.
And now he surrounds himself with a bunch of other people dressed in blonde wigs and tracksuits and jewelry.
And they all do parkour.
They do parkour and they save the kid. And then he acts like Jimmy Savile, who in America, we don't know who that is, except we find out. You tell them who he was.
Jimmy Savile was a figure from my childhood. Children's TV. He had a show called Jim'll Fix It. It was awesome. I watched it every night, every weekend when it was on. And you basically wrote a letter to the BBC. It got to Jim'll Fix It, and you asked for something, and they would fulfill your wish. So I'll say, I really would like to go to NASA and meet the spacemen. And then in the show, you would see me going to meet the spacemen in NASA, and Jim would have fixed it for me. It was called Jim'll Fix It.
Okay. And then what happened in 2011 when Jim'll Fix It died?
He died, Jimmy Savile, and then came out reports and not just hearsay, he molested a lot of children.
Correct.
So that then it turns into a horror story.
Yes.
So my childhood of that show and having all those fun Saturday nights sitting watching it, you can't take that away from me because that was that, right? But then when I think of it as an adult, it's like, oh, that guy.
But in this movie, because the fall of civilization happens before 2011,
right?
So these children, Jimmy, the guy, there's a boy in the beginning who we see on, the first week of the whole thing happening 28 years ago. He's watching Teletubbies with his friends, and then something horrible happens. He's the only one that kind of comes out of it. So you can assume that also somewhere, wherever he gets rescued and he's growing up, he has access to videotapes of Jimmy Savile. Jimmy will fix it. And so watching that in the early 2000s.
It makes me wonder why they didn't just have Jim will fix it on the TV where the kids were watching.
I think that'd be too much. I don't think you want to go there because then it's too direct, right? But to assume that this child was raised with this guy who made everyone's dreams come true, and then he becomes that figure of the idealized Jimmy Savile because he doesn't know. No one knows the badness. So you have to subtract what we know from, and you read that the writer said it's like how we all have selective memory.
Yeah.
We create a past where we subtract. Well, I know people who only subtract the good and they only focus on the bad. So either way, you subtract the bad and then you want it to be all dreamy and wonderful and nostalgic. And so that's what, but it's really icky because as soon as you think about it, you're like, oh my God.
But I found it super interesting.
It's very interesting.
I was like,
I don't mind it at all.
Oh, that's a Danny Boyle thing to do. I feel like Danny Boyle is a fuck everything. He has got that inside of him. I mean, if you've seen the movie Trainspotting, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about.
The opening sequence, you mean?
Just any of it, really. He's got this kind of about him. There's a
anti-establishment.
Yeah. Which I admire and appreciate.
Thank you.
And I've watched quite a few Danny Boyle interviews this week, and every time he talks, I'm like I like him more because he's a very interesting fella. So let's get on to the cast. Jodie Comer plays Isla. She's the mother who's got the cancer.
Yeah,
what do you think?
She's good. I don't know what's her accent in life, and was it good? Because she sounded good to me.
That's not her accent. She's actually a Scouser, but she was being a Newcastle girl. Yeah, I'm not sure why.
Well,
just like where they were in the world, I guess.
She was good. She is suffering from, like I said, cancer has gone to her brain or started in her brain. Wait, no one's going to know. And she's confused and not well. And
I mean, she is a good actress.
She's very good.
Yeah. And
she's my favorite thing of the whole movie. Her and the kid, they're both my favorite.
Aaron Taylor Johnson plays Jamie. He's the guy who played Kick-Ass. But yeah, there was some of his line delivery where I was like, that's really weird. He's putting on a weird accent. First off, he's very posh sounding, that guy in real life. And whatever his accent he's doing, I'm not quite sure what it is. It's a mixture, which, it would be a mixture, wouldn't it? You're around lots of different people from all over the place.
And he's of the age that he would have been a kid when everything fell apart.
Yeah.
And so we'll give him a little grace.
But some of his lines are just like hokey almost. It's the exposition man stuff.
Yeah, but that's not his fault.
No, I don't think it's his fault.
I also think he's just...
I like him, though.
I don't love the character at all. That's not, again, not his fault, but he's kind of flat and he's not he doesn't come off as like super wise and he doesn't come off as super...
best father ever.
Yeah, or like capable. Like really capable, like it doesn't have special skills like Liam Neeson.
When they've been out on the little mission and they come back and he's like just like bragging about
he's
what
lying
he did
about
and lying
what happened.
As well. Yeah.
Also, he says he sees the fire in the distance. He's never been there. He's never gone very far.
No.
And so he's, understandably afraid of the world. And so I feel like that kind of, maybe he did a great job because I totally got that from this guy.
Yeah, maybe. Ralph Fiennes plays Dr. Kelson. Excellent, I got to say.
Yeah, I like that character, and I like the notion, that,
It's one of my favorite parts of the movie when he turns up, that whole section there. it tugs at your heartstrings. The whole thing's
Absolutely.
like emotional. And Alfie Williams plays Spike, and he's our main kid. And I thought he was fantastic.
Absolutely amazing.
Like, there's something about him that makes me... He can just do it with his face without saying anything.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, he's really sad. Oh, you know? So yeah, he was excellent. Good choice. Directed by Danny Boyle. You'll know him from 28 Days Later, Trainspotting, Slumdog Millionaire, Shallow Grave, Yesterday, A Life Less Ordinary, and Millions.
I forget about Yesterday. That's a fun one.
Yes, it is. And Millions was also a fun one with the kids who found the money on the train track.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think of Danny Boyle's directing?
Here's where I'm going to be controversial. I think Danny Boyle is a bit pretentious, thinking that he's cool and kind of punky, like you said, but yet injecting dumb comments like the Dr. Sayat guy says something in Latin. He goes, yes, I know. Ironic. It's a dead language.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the world said, I'm like, I mean, that's so, it's so, I don't know, like fake intellectual bullshit. I just hate that kind of little nod of like, oh, ha, ha, ha. The fancy people say that Latin is a dead language. You know, I hate that shit. And then the style over substance, and it got to me in every single one of these iterations, even though the middle one wasn't him. But the first one, realizing, wow, the shaky cam, the overindulgence, and like I'm experimenting fully, which is great. It's just that it didn't win me over.
This one is the most ordinary, weirdly, like the most.
But it's balanced, you know. You get some camera stuff, you know, and you get a little bit of flashing here and there, but not too bad. So it's balanced out. But I just feel like Danny Boyle also, like, I don't know.
I do think Trainspotting is one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Trainspotting, absolutely.
Yeah, that's where I.
So it serves my purpose to
I do
say,
think Shallow Grave is a fantastic movie also. I do really love A Life Less Ordinary with Alabama.
I like A Life Less Ordinary, yes. Shallow Grave, I mean, it was good. It was fine.
Yesterday
I don't remember
was really, really fun.
It was very fun.
I think he's a good filmmaker.
Absolutely good filmmaker, but there are a little bit of anxiety and weirdness that comes through that's like very... It's him, so that's great. It's just that I don't always jive with it.
Yeah, I can see why people wouldn't. I could also see why, if you saw the trailer to this movie, where it's doing the Boots poem and showing you all the aggressive shots of is the zombies, is the blah, blah, and it seems like a crazy horror movie, and then you go and see it, and it's not really what was advertised to you.
It really isn't. No,
it's like something else, isn't it? It's almost like a bunch of other things. There's whole parts of the movie where there is no horror. And I
actually thought that while watching. I'm like, this is the least amount of an infected movie.
Right. So yeah, it's not really what you was advertised, but I was happily surprised with what I got. After seeing 28 Weeks Later a day ago.
So you're comparing. Okay, I got it.
I was like, oh yeah, this is, I like I say, I even like this better than the first one.
Gotcha.
And it's not like I barely remember the first one. I watched it 2 days ago.
Yes.
Also, there's some little nods to the other movies, like the rats running away from the infected.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't think of anything else, but I'm assuming there was other nods. You know the place where the gas had built up? Was that the place? Was it the same place that Jim in the first one had to kill the kid?
Good question. It's called Happy Eats.
Because it did look very similar.
Yeah, it was like a roadside diner type of situation.
With a petrol station.
But that might have been the nod.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know if that's realistic. The idea that gas builds up over 28 years and it's just floating in the air. And then when you shoot some bullets in it, that it will just burn off real quickly. I don't know if that's realistic.
I actually didn't know what was going on at first. I was like, what's going on in here? Why is there a load of fog?
Oh, no, I figured it was just the gas main had broken and that somebody was going to die.
It took me a while to cotton on. I was like, what is this? This is weird. IMDb reviews.
What are those? What are those?
What are those?
Oh, you're asking me.
Yes.
Those are reviews on IMDb, which is the Internet Movie Database, in case people don't know stuff. And it is reviews that give movies, people, and we're going to say some bots maybe, potentially,
Yeah, maybe.
that give movies 1 star because it's like the worst movie they've ever seen and they left the theater and it's blah, 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 and it's too woke, etc. And you love them.
Yeah, so these are the 1-star people. The first guy says, as a big fan of the 28 Days, Weeks Later series, see, nobody knows what to call it.
Yeah, exactly.
I was genuinely excited for this installment, hoping it would follow the same gritty, realistic survival tone. The first half held some promise, with a grounded setup, but as soon as the infected appear, it felt completely let down. The inclusion of bizarre fat infected felt like an attempt to gross out the audience, completely out of sync with the tension of the original films. The alpha infected with his over-the-top penis. Oh yeah, he has a very big penis.
A very big penis.
Yeah, the infected don't wear any clothes in this movie.
Just mud.
Because why would they?
Correct?
Yeah.
Mud.
Right. Why would the mother cooperate with non-infected humans? It all breaks the logic of the universe.
Well, because she has cancer in her brain and she sees a baby being born and she wants to help it.
Yes.
That's it.
And the second guy says, 28 years later is so stupid and wildly different from the first 2 movies, it will be a career ender for the writer and director. I guess people change because any movie they work on in the future is now suspect. This is a British-looking movie with Sex Pistols-type soundtrack.
Oh.
I mean, it's got some music, but I wouldn't call it Sex Pistols-y. I couldn't identify the music, actually.
Sometimes I could not, no.
It was playing some, like, I'm assuming cool music that I'm out of the loop on. And there was somebody singing, but I didn't know what it was. Usually I can recognize music, but not that.
Usually you can.
And the last guy says, I've not sat through many films as bad as this, and that's shocking when you think this film has Hollywood actors and a big budget. It was mentally challenging to stay with the movie as it goes nowhere. There are no action scenes whatsoever and a complete lack of storyline.
No action scenes whatsoever.
He must have gone to the toilet because there was definitely action scenes.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I don't know what he's talking about. But it is not wall-to-wall action scenes.
True.
I think that second movie attempted to be wall-to-wall action scenes, but kind of failed. So those are the reviews. Let's give this movie a score. I'm going to give 28 Years Later a 7 out of 10.
Oh, 7. I'm going 5.
What would you give the other 2 out of interest?
The first one, there's 2 of me because there was the original me that probably would have given it like an 8.
I'd give it a 5.
There's the now me who would give it a 5.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to go 6 because it's innovative and it's not like other zombie movies.
The second one's a 2 for me.
It's not a 2. I'm going to go for 4.7 because I didn't understand why we have a dad who can be infected and also hunt down his own children.
If you're talking about one that has no logic, it's that one, right?
The infected dad, Begbie, from Trainspotting, hunts down his own children to like kill them after he's already abandoned his wife and then killed her.
It makes no sense, that part.
Yeah, it's like, what? So, I don't know.
And Idris Elba and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
I didn't even know those guys were in it. Idris Elba.
I think as a group, though, it's a reasonable watch for like people like me who enjoy the idea of huge pandemic, virus hits everybody, humans go fucking crazy, the world falls apart.
It's well made. It's just...
No, I don't think the first one's well made.
No, the second one. The second one's well made for what it is, right?
Yeah. Oh, we also had Rose.
But it's a terrible, like, story.
I like Rose. Is that her name?
Rose Byrne.
Yeah. I like her a lot.
I mean, there's a bunch of good people in it. It's just the movie's not great.
What was that all?
There was some interesting sequences, but I kind of fell out with it in the middle of the movie. Especially when they were like running away from chemical weapons in cars. It was really stupid.
With their shirts pulled up over their noses,
yes.
And then they were fine.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, if that's all it takes, then why are we all so worried about chemical weapons?
Yeah, exactly. So, that's what I'm going for a 7 out of 10 for this one. And yours is? What did you say?
For this one, I'm going to go 5.7.
All right. I enjoyed it more than you.
You
clearly.
did.
All right, next week we're going to look at a new movie, and it is Jurassic World Rebirth. Movie recommendations. I'm going off the tip of this movie. One from Danny Boyle, one from Alex Garland. Trainspotting. Danny Boyle's masterpiece. It is. You can't really. It's just amazing. It's of its time, but still very watchable now. And my other one's Alex Garland's Civil War, which I really enjoyed.
Right.
He also did Warfare just recently, which I think's equally as good. Warfare was excellent, right?
Yes.
I was going to say you might have forgot because it was about 3 weeks ago.
I have.
You know, though, don't you? Son of Rambo was in it. They were all trapped in the building.
Yes, of course. Thank you for the reminder.
Yes.
And I'm going to say for my recommendations, going back to the horror history of cinema, I've gone through most of the 20th century. I'm up to, all of the 20th century. I'm up to the year 2000 now. These are not movies I'm recommending because of quality. I can assure you. It's just that I've seen them. And if you want to be like me, and who doesn't, you'll watch them, absorb them into your brain, forget most of them, and then move on with your life. Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2.
Oh.
I know you don't love it. Hello Man, also.
Ooh.
American Psycho.
Yes. Fantastic.
Pitch
Classic.
Black. One of my
Also
favorite.
a classic, yeah.
Absolutely one of my favorites of sci-fi. Yes, it has Fast and the Furious in it, but I mean, it is a different. I mean, if I watched it now, I hope that it holds up.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, and it's the beginning of the Riddick story as well. If anyone's heard of Riddick or played the game about Riddick, it is where we first meet Riddick on a transport.
He's going to come back and do Riddick again, apparently.
Okay, I don't mind those because I like the origin here. So Pitch Black is really interesting. Final Destination also. I really liked Final Destination.
We'll be reviewing a new Final Destination movie soon.
Does that mean we need to watch them all?
Apparently it's unrelated now, this one.
Yeah, but it's got to be the same.
I mean, it'd be nice to just watch them for fun.
Yeah, and it's got to be the same notion that,
if
you haven't seen it, go watch it. But
this one's unrelated, as in it's for the new generation of people to enjoy it.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. That your recommendations?
That's
All right. Ace Scully stuff. I just want to tell you about a game that's coming out this upcoming week. I think it comes out on Thursday. And it's the new Mafia game, Mafia the Old Country. So they're going back to the very beginning, to like 1912 or something in Italy. And it's, mainline Mafia game. We've not had one for some time now. And this one tells they're kind of unrelated in a way, like the Final Destination movies. You don't have to have played Mafia 2 to understand what Mafia 3 is. They're just all like separate crime stories. They might have little tiny breadcrumbs in between them, but it doesn't really matter. But Mafia the Old Country comes out this week on PC and console, and I will be playing it. Sid Talk. What's for dinner?
Frozen pizza, but we're going to bake it. That's what you say.
Oh, we're not eating it frozen.
We have people say we're having frozen pizza for dinner. You're like, is that it? We will cook it.
Isn't that bad for your teeth?
And it's a tombstone. If anyone likes cheap frozen pizza, it's me and you. You and I, me and you. And frozen, probably chips or fries, as we like to call them here. And croutons, because croutons are in the oven cooking.
That's a weird dinner. It's a pizza topped with croutons.
Correct. And a pepper that I grew. I'm going to cut that up and put it on this pizza. I'm using the peppers.
All right.
And my advice, is that what you're saying? Is that what you're asking
advice.
about?
What's your advice?
My advice is to consider, so it's not really advice, that established ways and methods of doing things or thinking about things can be awesome. And they can be effective solutions to problems. Definitely, right? They can stand the test of time so that over centuries or how many thousands of years, people have had broken bones. And somehow thousands of years ago, humans figured out how to like wrap and set and help them heal. I don't know what it was like back then, but we're still doing that. And I'm sure we're adding to the process. But that was a great idea that before that, imagine people probably just said, oh, he's broke his leg, push him off a cliff.
Right.
That's the solution to the problem. So the new idea of how to set the bone was great, and it holds the test of time. I don't know any other options for that one. It's just my weird example. But also, new ideas can also be awesome and solve problems that are old. That old ideas are not always great. Sometimes they're pretty shitty. They're just enough, right, to hold on to or get something done or solve a problem, kind of, sort of. And nobody ever had the backbone or the energy to ever change it. And someone comes up with a new idea and then everyone's like, oh, that's not how we do it. That's not how we've always done it. That ain't gonna work. Well, you don't know that, right? You don't know. And if you try and you fail, fair enough. But you could also try it and it could be the new solution to a problem that, changes the world or changes the world of humans in some good way. So I think I feel this way because I'm thinking this because I'm the person who rarely wants to do things the way they're always done. Do you get that vibe from me over the last 25 years?
Yeah, I reckon Danny Boyle's in your camp.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's why I see what he's trying to do. And then there's this element of but it's not. I don't know. You're right. He and I would probably be friends.
Yeah.
And I hopefully could tell him my honest opinion of his movies. I just feel like being told over and over and over, whenever you do want to try something different or new, or I'm from a small town area, small county. They haven't had a fair in this one particular town for 20 years. And last year there was a guy who's a little bit younger than me, lives in the area and decided he wants to bring it back. And he gets so much resistance and people not wanting to help and saying, oh, that's not going to work and that's not going to work. You can't do that. You can't do that. And it's like he's got the new ideas to infuse some life back in it. And some will work and some won't. Every year is a new test. But that I understand how people get defeated when they want to move forward or do something new, change the way they do it. Like, hey, this year for Christmas, I'm not making a turkey. We're going to have an all fast food dinner because that will be really fun. And having every single person go, oh, well, that's not how we always do it, right? My mom started having Casey's Pizza for Christmas when she was the manager of a Casey's store many years ago. And that was fantastic. I guess I get this from her because she's like, well, why do we have to have a whole dinner that I have to spend 6 hours cooking when I could just go to work in the morning and bring a bunch of pizzas home and we'll have that for a Christmas dinner? And it's like, yeah, why not? Right? That's a fine solution to the problem of eating on Christmas Day. It doesn't have to be the same as every other time before. So I don't know any other way to put it except, don't get defeated if people don't like your new ideas. You're going to spend some energy and some time and effort to keep pushing it forward, but don't get discouraged.
Thank you, Sid Talk.
Aye.
Yeah.
Aye, that and Kellen.
All right, you can go to Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, or Threads and find me there. I'm A Scully. You can find Sid Talk at Instagram. That's it. You can go to ascully.com, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, YouTube. You'll find the podcast in all of those places. Email feedback to me, ascully@ascully.com. Don't email Sid Talk. She does not want your email. And stay classy, Mr. Danny Boyle. I'm still a big fan.
And I'm going to say, think for yourself. Because if you're not doing it, someone's doing it for you the old way.